What happens when your top targets fall off the board and you're forced to completely reimagine your trade deadline strategy? When do you shift from chasing the big names to finding the smart, calculated rentals that can help you win now without sacrificing the future? Welcome back, folks. It's Friday, January 16th, 2026, and we got a major update on Kent Hughes' trade deadline strategy. According to a report from Gabriel Sammy, the Montreal Canadiens are pivoting hard. Forget the expensive, long-term commitments. Forget the blockbuster deals that mortgage the future. Hughes wants immediate reinforcements that bring sandpaper and experience to the top nine, and he wants them on rental contracts. With Blake Coleman off the market and Nazem Kadri's contract being too risky, two new names have emerged as the favorites: Anthony Mantha and Eric Howa. Let me tell you why this shift in strategy is absolutely brilliant, and why these two players might be exactly what Montreal needs right now. The key phrase in this report is that Hughes wants rentals. He's not ready to give away the farm in prospects. Mantha is a rental player. That's music to the ears of Habs fans who've been worried about Hughes making a desperation move that compromises the long-term plan. This is smart, disciplined management. You reinforce the team for the playoff push now, but you maintain flexibility for the summer. You don't commit long-term money to aging veterans. You don't give up your top prospects. You make calculated additions that help you compete without mortgaging the future. Let's start with Anthony Mantha, because this is where things get really exciting. We've talked about Mantha before as a potential target, but the timing is perfect now that Coleman is off the board. And here's the thing. Mantha isn't just playing well this season. He's playing the best hockey of his recent career. 14 goals and 29 points with Pittsburgh. That's legitimate top six production. And the report nails it. He's not just a big guy. He's a big guy who produces. That's the crucial distinction. You're not just getting size for the sake of size. You're getting a 6'5", 238-pound power forward who can actually put the puck in the net. Felix Seguin from TVA Sports makes a brilliant point. Imagine that giant opening up space for Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki. Mantha commands respect in front of the net. He's the kind of player who forces defensemen to make decisions. Do you cover Caulfield on the wing? Do you box out Mantha in front? You can't do both, and that creates scoring opportunities. Montreal's offense is skilled and fast, but it can be light at times. Adding Mantha gives him a physical presence that opponents have to account for. He can go to the dirty areas, win battles along the boards, and finish plays in tight. That's exactly what you need in playoff hockey, when space gets tight and games get physical. And here's the beautiful part. He's a rental. His contract expires at the end of this season. If it works out and he produces in the playoffs, maybe you try to re-sign him at a reasonable number. If it doesn't work out, he walks in free agency, and you've only given up a mid-round pick. There's no long-term risk. Now let's talk about Eric Howa, because this is where Simon Snake Boisvert shows his hockey IQ. Howa is going to be traded before the start of March. He brings grit, sandpaper, and speed. He's the kind of player you absolutely hate playing against in the playoffs. At 34 years old, Howa isn't going to lead your team in scoring, but he's going to win the battles in the corners that decide tight games. He's going to kill penalties. He's going to take face-offs in crucial moments. He's going to drive opponents crazy with his relentless forechecking and physical play. And the best part? You have no obligation to him at the end of the year. Another rental. Another low-risk addition that helps you compete now without creating cap problems or roster complications down the road. Think about what adding both of these players would do for Montreal's lineup. You got Mantha's size and scoring ability on one line. You got Howa's grit and speed on another. Suddenly, you're rolling three lines that can hurt you in different ways. You're not just a skilled team that can be pushed around anymore. You're a team with depth, physicality, and versatility. The report suggests that if Hughes can bring in one or both of these players for second or third round picks, the Canadiens become a much more dangerous playoff team. And I completely agree. You're adding Mantha's size alongside Slafkovsky and Anderson, creating a massive physical presence. You're adding Howa's competitiveness in the middle of the lineup, giving you another center who can take tough matchups. This is exactly the kind of smart, calculated roster building that wins in the salary cap era. You don't overpay for big names. You don't commit long-term to aging veterans. You identify rentals who fit specific needs, acquire them at reasonable prices, and use them to supplement your young core without compromising the future. And let's be honest about where Montreal is right now. They're in third place in the Atlantic. They're exceeding expectations. The young stars are producing, but they need veteran support to navigate a playoff race and potential in a round or two. Mantha and Howa provide exactly that support without the long-term risk of someone like Kadri. Pittsburgh is struggling and will likely be sellers. New Jersey, where Howa is playing, might also be willing to move veterans if they fall out of the race. The market conditions are perfect for Hughes to swoop in and acquire these players without getting into bidding wars or paying premium prices. Compare this approach to what we were discussing with Kadri. $7 million through 2029 for a 34-year-old center. That's a massive commitment with significant risk. Now, compare it to Mantha and Howa, both rentals, both available for mid-round picks, both addressing immediate needs without creating long-term problems. It's not even close. The rental approach is smarter, safer, and more aligned with where Montreal is in their development curve. The Canadiens are building something special. They've got Suzuki, Caulfield, Slafkovsky, Hudson, and a pipeline of elite prospects on the way. They don't need to mortgage that future for a veteran who might decline over the next few years. They just need some experienced support to help them compete right now, while the young guys continue to develop. Mantha and Howa are perfect for that role. They bring what Montreal needs: size, physicality, playoff experience, and scoring ability, without requiring the kind of commitment that can handcuff the organization down the road. If Kent Hughes pulls this off, if he lands one or both of these players for reasonable prices, he'll have navigated the trade deadline brilliantly. He'll have addressed his team's needs, improved the roster for a playoff push, and maintained all the flexibility and assets necessary to continue building for long-term success. That's championship-level management. That's how you turn a good young team into a sustainable contender. And that's exactly what Montreal needs right now. What do you think, folks? Should Kent Hughes go after Anthony Mantha and Eric Howa as rental additions instead of committing long-term to someone like Kadri? Would you rather see the Canadiens make smart, low-risk moves or swing for the fences with a big-name acquisition? Which of these two rentals would you prioritize? If you could only get one, drop your thought in the comment below. And don't forget to smash that like button, because the trade deadline strategy just shifted dramatically, and we're going to be covering every move, every rumor, and every decision as the Canadiens continue their hunt for the perfect playoff reinforcements.